Alright, getting started this morning. I've been kind of holding off until 9 o'clock. The winds were supposed to calm down about 8, so I set the alarm for 5 to get up and try to take advantage of that, but then I checked the forecast this morning and they had delayed that drop in the wind till about 9. So I've been kind of delaying. I did dishes before I left. Normally I don't do that, but today I did. So we get our tracking going here. So we've got the tracking started on everything. Chart up. I have one chart on here. This is the quads for the lake, and then on here I have my marine navigation, as well as a what they call the fishing map for this lake that shows a lot of the reefs, or at least where there's records of reefs. It helps a lot. I'll be going through a real dense area of that today, so I'll have to be extra careful. Anyway, motor's running, autopilot is hooked up, ready to go. I need to get I always forget the remote though. So I've got the remote, and that just recorded the track so they know I'm moving. So pull anchor and we'll be off. Right up north. We'll soon find out. 8:50, I'm a little early, but we'll just mosey out. I don't see the moose around this morning. And we've got a kayak behind. We want to make sure he stays there. I'm always afraid that the fitting is going to break on it. Well, we'll go out here and take a look, see what we've got for waves. The wind is down pretty decent, but that doesn't mean that there's not wave action, because I've been feeling a little bit of it here. We should be going with the waves, which will help a little bit. Islands will break it up a little bit too. Since we're going to the south, we're going to go down through these islands. Can't tell. Well, I don't know. Maybe exaggerated by the sun, but it just looks like there's a lot of wind out there yet. Now we'll take a look. I can't see that bald eagle flying around now. Try to walk in this island. Well, I don't know. I just don't know if I should go for it or not here. We're only going about 8 miles or so. Let's go ahead and look up the autopilot. Trying to get the cameras going here, but I'm having trouble. It won't connect. Well, it's good enough. It'll have to work. Still a lot of roll left over. That wind was a lot stronger coming down than forecast. So I need to decide where I'm going to anchor in here. I think it's finally dropped. Forecast was just too slow and coming. Well, I made it. It made me wonder a little bit. There was a really serious reef that I had to come through, and I was afraid it might stretch all the way across. It didn't show that, but you know, you never know, because things are not marked very well. So, and the reef chart that they have for the lake is really crude. It's not fine down to the, you know, you're probably good within 200 yards, and that's about it. All right, I need to look at what the winds are going to do here. It just won't connect with them. I I got to figure out what's going on with that pocket. Now, it seemed to me that the wind was going to be south. It's going to go southwest. I need to be in this corner down here, but the boat isn't going where I want it to here. Wind came up all of a sudden. There's just a lot more wind than they forecast. It's supposed to be 4 to 6 miles an hour, and it's more like 10 to 12, at least in the gusts. All right, I need to get a chart here where I can see. There's a little corner back here on the right, and I think that's where I'm going to end up going, because the swell behind me here could build up if it's going to go, and it's supposed to, I might be here a couple days, and it's supposed to get really strong, up to 20 miles an hour out of the south. So hiding back in this corner is probably the best, which is should protect me from most of the swell. There might be some reflection off the north side of the bay here, but bottom's pretty flat. It's kind of open a little bit to the west, but that's where this corner would be best anyway in that condition. So I think we're committed. Need to run the motors long enough. It's not charging up as much as it should, so it's not getting to my house battery. I've got been too discharged. It's not charging up like it should. Too much discharge, not enough charge. I haven't been running long enough the last couple days, so short little 5 mile, 6 mile, 7 mile legs. Okay, there's a little point there, it comes out. It's getting shallow here. Yeah, about 8 feet here all of a sudden, so it's going to get shallow fast. 7.7. I'm just going to go in and test it a little bit here and see how far I can get in here and what the general depth is, because you got to consider the swing. If 7 feet, scope of 7 to 1, that's 49 feet of scope. Well, it's getting shallow fast here all of a sudden. 5 feet. All right, we'll put the anchor down and all right, I don't know, I might have gotten too shallow here, but 4.8. Let's see if it holds on that. I'm going to let it dig in on its own a little bit first before I power it. Swinging around pretty fast. That means it's pretty well on. Yeah, I think that's good. 4.5 feet. I'll let it stabilize a minute here. I don't want to get too big a hurry. Just power it a little bit here and go up and check to make sure it's not giving away. Yep, there's a good hold on there. So. All right, I'm here, folks. It was a little bit of a wondering how it was going to work out, because it was I came out, looked around the corner there, and there was a whitecaps out on the water, and you don't have whitecaps when there's only 5 or 6 mile an hour wind. So I knew I had more wind than what forecast. It seems to be dropping a little bit now, but I don't know that the forecast was accurate. So anyway, my dishes are done, so I'm pretty much in a state of relaxed time. It doesn't look like there's any place to go ashore here, so that's probably out, and it doesn't look all that interesting from a standpoint of kayaking either, so might be a lot of reading done today, and then unfortunately it looks like the wind is going to be up tomorrow again, so that being the case, I may be stuck here again for 2 days. Tucked back in this little corner, it's got a little bit of fetch here to the end of the anchorage, so there could be a little wave action inside the anchorage itself if the wind came out of the north, but it's supposed to switch to southwest and then increase tomorrow. So that being the case, this should protect me from the wind as well as most of the swell. Might get some reflection, as I said earlier, off the north side of the anchorage, but hopefully that won't be too serious. Bottom here is muddy, so it's good holding. I only got about 4.5, 5 feet here, so I'm pretty shallow. About like last night, actually. That being the case, I better check in and tell folks I'm back, or that I'm done with this particular leg. So by satellite, I notify them, and then I tell them I'm checked in and okay. 5 different family members know where I'm at. They know that I'm anchored in this particular place until I notify them that I'm moving again. That's done. I need to stop the tracking on the navionics and then save the track for the day. This would be leg 11 of the trip, so we'll post that. And I've been labeling, as I said earlier, just with an N for what was I think it's 11. I just said 11, but I forgot. Leg 11 was only 6.5 miles. I thought it was about 8, so I'm a little bit was confused by that a little bit, but that's okay. That's why my battery didn't get all charged up either then. So all right, let's get the tracking on the other one here stopped. I'm tracking this on Navionics, the marine chart, and then the Nipigon fishing chart as well, so that I can use that in the videos. It's a chart of the whole lake, so I can show the whole route of the whole trip route, not just individual legs. All right, I think I will turn you off. Can't think of anything else to say. We will talk to you later.